problem with industrial models is they're dealing with just one component of the whole system, and they look at this one component, whether it's trees or salmon or cod or whatever, and think that we can take most of what's there, and what's left is going to keep it going, or we can take most of the trees, and as long as we replant young trees, the whole thing will keep on going forever. But if you start extracting too much energy or nutrients out of any sector of it, then everything suffers.
There's not enough good examples of how to do forestry in a really sustainable way, I don't think. I think that we have had a period in the last 100 years on the coast that's seen a lot of forests changed, in the long term, and we want to try to bring back that transition to old growth characteristics. And so Cortes, our idea is to extend the rotations from the industry norm of 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 years or whatever to much longer rotations into the 100 years, both to have old growth characteristics in the ecosystem, but also to be growing a lot better timber.
The idea that we had when I was young of an 80 to 120 year rotation, let alone what's going on now with the idea that we can cut them after 40 to 60 to 80 years, something like that, and have a healthy forest system left behind is total nonsense. I mean, it's mining the nutrients out of the land base each time you take a harvest of trees off that landscape. I'm going to be arguing for maybe 200-year rotations or something like that on the areas that we're harvesting.
We're talking about netting down 40 to 45% of the land base for sensitive ecosystems, riparian zones, rocky outcrops, really thin soils, just places that we think that need to be set aside. But then the remaining stands, they've come in really thick. They don't have old growth characteristics. They're moving into a really thick stand that's vulnerable to disease. It's vulnerable to catastrophic canopy fires with, climate change and things like that. So the island does need a lot of work done on its forests, and there's a vital economic component that can come out of that.
Once the community forest gets going, and there's, quite a few thousand cubic meters, I might use, at an average year, I might use about 600 cubic meters of wood for my sawmilling. We're going to have probably 10 times that much come out of the community forest each year, so there's an opportunity for myself, as long as I want to keep on milling, and Ron Walda, and probably half a dozen others, or maybe another 8 or 10 young fellows that might get interested in the primary breakdown of logs into lumber. Then it can go into other hands, and they can get going on what they think they can do to make a living with it, whether it's building houses, or whether it's building furniture, or whether it's building doors and windows, or whatever they can come up with.
We have to generate income. The community forest can't go broke. We want to employ some people, but we have to do it in a way that the community is going to identify with. And I think that if we can work together with Glhoos and really keep going with the trust that we've been building and emphasizing for this partnership, I think it's going to bring the community together. I really do. We need it.